Monday Night Raw took place tonight from the Performance Center, and the show started off with the recap of what happened at Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins last night, with Rey's eye being knocked out of his socket. Then Tom Phillips announced us, and they said what had happened was um, Rey Mysterio, they said his optic nerve was not severed, so he's expected to make a full recovery. And this gives them an out because they can basically just not have him on TV if he doesn't resign. But if he does resign, they have him back. So and he'll make a recovery and he can continue for the Rollins. So it gives them an out. And of course, they can't say he lost his eye because there's kiddies watching. It's too graphic. So Ray's gonna make a full recovery, and Rollins is more a dastardly heel, I guess. But we expect Dominic to come onto the Aleister Black. The crowd's chanting shame. Rollins makes a joke about it. Um, then Aleister Black comes out. Black placed the blame on Rollins, and he wants to rectify the situation, kind of. All right. He ran down after Rollins, but then Murphy cuts him off. You have Seth and Aleister Black. I thought they'd save this for SummerSlam because I think this probably will still be a match at SummerSlam. I'd expect Aleister Black to win because I think he's going to get a title opportunity soon. But it was alright. It was an okay match. It was fine for a while. There were a lot of mistakes near the end. The finish was not good. As Rollins was setting up for the stomp, Black was short on. He was waiting for too long, and he was basically in position for too long for it. Rollins took a while to make the cover, but they had Black had the match won earlier, but it didn't work. I didn't like the ending. It was just off that match. They had Ron Simmons there, and I don't know if he's gonna do more stuff with that, but he's talking to MVP and Bobby Lashley in the back. Says them there's a better way about doing things. So maybe if they have to form a new nation of domination. And MVP and they basically they bump fists with Ron Simmons, and he left, and they have R-Truth come there, and I didn't care. I don't care about the stuff with R-Truth and Lashley and MVP. They then have MVP Lashley and Sean Benjamin enter the ring. I guess Sean's with them. I don't know. Are they forming a new nation? Maybe R-Truth joins them. They get R-Truth, that's 4. Maybe Ron Simmons is with them. Maybe that's it. They're going to get Simmons. 5. Simmons is like an advisor. That's New Nation of Domination. Maybe they do it. Why not? I guess if it makes sense in today's climate, it probably fit perfectly. I don't mind it. I like the Nation. I thought, the original Nation, it was okay. It was kind of a militant group. Then it turned into just the Rock's faction, and it was the second Nation with the Rock. It was mainly just they were just the Rock's crew basically. So, but I thought it was okay. You had 6-man tag match: Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander against MP, Bobby Lashley, and the 24/7 champ Shelton Benjamin. Ricochet, he just doesn't feel like anyone. Cedric Alexander, not much of a star. Mustafa Ali, I don't like. I'm just not a fan. Hey, speaking of Ali, whatever happened to the Hacker storyline? They forgot that. Remember, I really liked that Hacker storyline. That was really interesting. They forgot it. I mean, maybe they bring it back every few months. You never know, but I miss it. That was pretty cool. But I guess it's gone for a while. They had after that match, the baby faces win. They had Randy Orton in the back. He cut the promo. He talked about his matches over the years. He talked about the match with Mick Foley at Backlash, becoming the youngest world champion. Who did he beat in that match? I don't know. Then he talks about the match with Edge, and he's going through his career, and of course he cuts a promo tonight with the Big Show. They show Ron Simmons speaking to the Viking Raiders in the back. Tom Phillips plugged the unsanctioned match, and of course that's where you're in the Big Show tonight. Christian's interviewed by the announcers. We see him there. We haven't seen him in a while. He talks about Randy Orton. He says he's still recovering from the punt, and he'll never look at Randy Orton or Ric Flair again tonight the same way. And he hopes Big Show KOs Randy. They show Sarah Screever backstage talking to Bianca Belair, who made her return. Hopefully they push her. Bianca's wearing earrings with a picture of her face on them. She wanted to be nice and help Ruby Riott. She also didn't care much for the Iconics. They didn't like them. They had Peyton Royce interrupt Bianca Belair and suggest that she finds a better partner. Then Ruby Riott comes and she wonders where Billie Kay was. We don't know where Billie Kay is. I hope she doesn't have COVID, but no Billie Kay. That was awkward. If she's getting released, I don't know. She's really bad in the ring. But they argue, and eventually Bianca threatens to beat up Peyton Royce. You have Ruby Riott and Bianca, and Ruby Riott and Peyton Royce in the match. Ruby crushes her, Peyton crushed her for a while, dominated. Then Ruby makes a comeback, and it's a quick match. It's basically a 3-minute match. Ruby Riott's crying because she actually beats an Iconic in a match. Wow, such an accomplishment. Charlie Cruz interviews Angel Garza, Andrade, and Selena Vega. Selena just interrupts, and she hates Charlie Cruz. We've been seeing that feud for 2 months. Could we see a match maybe? I don't know, but she hates him because Caruso, of course, likes Angel. Street Profits beat Angel Garza, Andrade. Tie match with Selena Vega. Pretty average match. Didn't care much. Andrade and Garza yell backstage. They're mad at each other. Vega confronts them. Selena Vega confronts them, and she tells them to, make sure you're on the same page. Bayley and Sasha Banks promo. They come out. Banks comes out as the Raw Women's Champion. Bayley tells them to congratulate her. Sasha says there's no controversy. She fought for the belt, unlike Asuka, who was handed the belt by Becky Lynch. She said Asuka sprayed mist in the face of the poor referee, and Bayley put on the shirt, and her match was official. Bayley says she did the right thing because she's a role model, and Sasha calls herself two belt Banks, and now they have all the belts. Asuka interrupts. She said the title was hers. Sasha invites her to come get it. Asuka and Kairi Sane march there, but then Stephanie McMahon appears on the screen, and she congratulates Sasha and Bayley, but says the match with Asuka was a horror show, and it didn't happen. Basically, Sasha didn't win the match. Stephanie then makes Sasha Banks and Asuka next week for the real championship, and that's, of course, Asuka. I'm convinced it's going to. I've heard the reason they did it was just so they can pump ratings for the next week, but that's where Asuka's going to beat Sasha. And I guess the title's vacant now. They didn't announce it, but it's clear. And they said Asuka's the rightful champion. I don't know. It's either Asuka's champ. Sasha for sure isn't champ, which we all knew that would happen after last night. But it's either Asuka's champ or Sasha Banks and Asuka are not champ, and it's vacant. You had Kairi Sane face Bayley, and Kairi Sane stuns Bayley. And Kairi Sane is going to be done with the company. So shocked. That's why the reason they jobbed Kairi Sane out is because she's going to be gone soon. So I was really surprised that they had Kairi Sane pin Bayley, but they did, which was a surprise. It was a good match. I enjoyed it for a while. What happens was Kairi Sane counters Bayley into Schoolgirl for a pinfall. She pins Bayley, and Asuka's ecstatic. So I hope that they set up Asuka and Kairi Sane at SummerSlam. I think that'd be great, and that could be Kairi's send-off. And I heard Kairi, she's living on good terms. They understand she wants to go live in Japan. She's married now. But maybe if she does live in Japan now, I suppose she can maybe be an ambassador for WWE and stuff like that. But I'd love to see her get a send off with Asuka and Kairi. Having a send off match with Asuka at SummerSlam, I think would be awesome for Kairi Sane. I'd love to see that. You had Sarah Scraper interview Drew McIntyre, and she talks about Dolph Ziggler, what condition he was in, and McIntyre puts over Ziggler, basically. McIntyre promo, he credits Ziggler for picking good stipulation, and he is cutting a promo. Ziggler comes out, and then McIntyre just knocks him down with the headbutt. Before McIntyre to leave, Ziggler offers him for a rematch. McIntyre liked the idea, he accepted. And he wanted to. McIntyre basically says he's going to make him wait for the stip, just like Dolph did to him. So that is kind of how he's going to get his revenge. And eventually, main event: Randy Orton and the Big Show, unsanctioned match. A lot of it was a fight for a while. Saw some weapons. Saw a table used, and didn't use a table for a while. It was just laying there. Chairs used. Orton used the chair on Big Show. Big Show used the chair too. Big Show missed a splash when he did a buckle bomb, kind of like a Vader bomb from the middle rope. He misses Orton on the table and goes through the belt. Orton starts to take advantage. He beats down Big Show with a chair late in the match. There was a really great spot when Randy Orton puts up the Big Show and he does a DDT, the draping DDT. This time he does it from the top rope. And Big Show's in great shape for his age. You got to give the guy credit. And after the DDT, Orton sets up for the second RKO. Big Show gets up. Orton hits the RKO. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton defeats the Big Show. After the match, Big Show's done. He barely can barely get to his feet. Orton then sets up the big punt, and he kicks the Big Show hard with the punts. He takes out the Big Show off TV. Could be the last of Big Show. I don't know if we'll see him again. And if this is it, I don't know if it will be. He'll make an appearance, but this is it. That's a great career for the Big Show. Good way to go out. I really think the last few years of his career, he got older, but he got in better shape than he was when he was younger, and he really worked hard. And if this is it, that's, had a good match, a good way to go out with Randy Orton, and looks like that will be it for him the time being. We don't know, but he's definitely going to be written off TV. As for Randy Orton, he goes on to face Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. I'm 100% sure it won't be Drew and Dolph again. They'll probably have a match, actually, but it'll probably just be, it'll like be a match on Raw in a week or two, and then they'll just go to, they'll set up Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton at SummerSlam. That has to be the match. But I thought the show was okay. The main event was good. The rest of the show was boring. There was some stuff that were all right. They explained the whole Asuka and Sasha Banks stuff, and of course they have a match next week. We'll see where they go from SummerSlam. It doesn't really feel like a SummerSlam season, but it's 2020. Nothing feels what it should be. Isn't it crazy? Was 2019 that good of a year for everyone? Wouldn't you give everything you had just to go back to 2019 the way things were and got to 2020? Man, SummerSlam, again, it's like WrestleMania. It's not SummerSlam. Even though it's not as big of a deal as WrestleMania, it's still a big deal, and it's not real. What I mean by that, it's not like a real SummerSlam show. It is still, it's unfortunate. I thought they were going to have a big show in Boston, but that's what they do, and that was Raw. We'll see how the road to SummerSlam shapes up, and we'll see. I guess we'll see how what they do leading up to the show in August.